Welcome everyone to today's session by your Unifinder YUF and the assisted mobile app about studying in Italy. Uh, Thank you very much for coming. Let me first of all introduce myself. My name is Gesa Heim and I hold an MSc in Higher Education and Science Management. I'm specialized in the German and European higher education sector since over 15 years, and I'm a senior expert here in the YUF Your Unifinder team. I'm based in Berlin, Germany, with quite nice and bright fall weather today, and I'm also very, very happy to talk to you today. So, this session will have three parts. I'll explain the Your Unifinder tool to you in the first few slides. Then we'll focus on studying in Italy and all the beautiful possibilities that are there. And the third part will be about the magical features of the assisted mobile app, your number one student app to come to study in Europe. But maybe I start with the actual topic and convince you why it is a very good idea. By the way, no, let's get back 1 second. So I'll talk for approximately 25 to 30 minutes, three sections. And I won't be able to answer questions in the chat during that time. But after that, we'll have loads of time to answer your questions. So prepare your questions, please. There will be a Q&A session where you have the opportunity to ask everything. And now, going to Europe, why it is a very good idea to study in Europe. For example, and I told you we'll focus on Italy later, Germany, Austria, Switzerland, Liechtenstein, Luxembourg, these very small countries, but also other countries. These countries do not distinguish between local and international students when it comes to education and tuition fees. Countries like Germany, Switzerland, Austria, but also Italy offer scholarships to students based on their financial background as well as on their educational acumen. And there are hundreds of different types of scholarships available with most institutions. So it's a very good idea to come and try and study in Germany because we charge low or no tuition fees for international students at public universities. There are hundreds of top ranked universities here and quite affordable living costs. There are lots of study programs taught in English and great job opportunities for international students and graduates. There are high chances of settling after completing education and highly recognized degrees internationally. You can travel from Germany to all of Europe on a student visa once you're in and become part of a diverse community. So let's move to Switzerland next. Why it is a very good idea to move to Switzerland. It is known as one of the safest countries in the world, and it offers excellent study programs at affordable costs to international students. Sharing its borders with five other countries, it is a traveler's paradise. Swiss scientists are held in high demand all over the world. The country has a penchant for efficiency, which is well reflected in its transportation and all public access systems. The geography of this country is as diverse as its people, so it's a really, really good study experience and also a good living experience. Moving to Austria, our neighboring country, there are highly specialized study programs in English language offered to international students. Also, no tuition fees at public universities for national or international students. The quality of life is high in Austria with a high level of social security. Universities promote student participation in sports and recreational activities. It is known to be one of the most livable countries in Europe, or even in the world, and quite an affordable study destination. So you see all of these three, for example, very decent, very good study destinations to come to study in Europe. But we know that once you decide to maybe study abroad, you face many challenges. Like, how can I find the right program for me? And where and how do I submit my applications? What are the documents required? And where do I get my attestations done? What are the next steps to take before I can actually start to study abroad? And then I got my interview for the visa. What do I have to say? What would be the questions? So all of this Luckily, there's a solution to solve this question, to answer these questions, because we can assist you. Who we are? We are a professional recruitment and higher education consulting team with years of experience in recruitment for the European and worldwide higher education sector. We have experience not just in recruitments, but also visa processing, accommodation assistance, and scholarships. We are committed to providing you assistance from start to end in every aspect of your university admission. The application submission, coordination of the application process with the university, visa support, accommodation, projects during your studies, and I'll tell you how that works in the last part of the section, and more things. How do we do this? We developed for you, sorry, we developed for you what we call the perfect triangle: predict, support, succeed. Predict. We predict the admission probability with our unique artificial intelligence based assistant, relying on data from previously admitted students in 500 plus universities. Because at these universities where you do not pay tuition fees, it is very difficult to get admission because the spots can be quite scarce and you have to know exactly where it is a good idea to apply in order not to be rejected. This might be different at other universities that charge high tuition fees that admit a lot more students. So, this is really the decisive question for access to universities that do not charge tuition fees. So, this is what we help you with. And we support you with personal guidance by our expert team through the jungle of application to universities that offer these scholarships or free education. And then with us, you can succeed and enroll in one of Europe's excellent academic environments and benefit from high quality higher education with accredited world class universities, top quality living conditions, and very positive prospects for your future career and life. So, I'm going to explain the steps a little bit more to you. Like, how does it work with this prediction? This is really the decisive question. We take information from past data in our vast database and compare your profile with the variables to find a match which helps us to predict your admission chances with ease. Why you have structures the available information for you and clear lists where you can easily get an overview, compare, mark, and manage your favorite options, and directly ask us to assist you with your application. In a second step, we suggest options to you with a high individual chance of admission to a university that exactly matches your profile. No other platform or agency is able to offer this service to you. Support. Our AI powered system ensures that you find the probability of admission to your chosen universities with minimum effort. You get access to our panel of assisted experts who provide end to end support for you with all your application activities. And you don't miss out on important deadlines, information, or know how relevant to the admission process, because this is crucial. Also, at universities that do not charge tuition fees, the admission procedure is complicated, there's not much support, and the deadlines are incredibly important. So, these are three aspects that we are going to help you with to fill the gap to be successful and be admitted to the universities here. Succeed and get admission to one of your top choice universities. Get assistance on visa support activities like visa submission documents, interview questions, and so on. And if you like, we can also assist you in getting all the information you need on housing, on accommodation facilities in your host country. It doesn't stop there. We even help you find quality project and internship opportunities with top institutions and companies in Europe. If you like, become part of our network once you're admitted. Consult fellow students about your key to success and keep in touch with us and become part of the community. So, to summarize this process, you download the Assistant mobile app and take the YUF feature, type in your academic profile, choose your country, choose your courses, and you can then predict your admission probability to the universities that you have chosen with relatively easily, I guess. Then you make the decision whether you would like to apply via YUF, and this is why we start to charge a little fee. Before that, to use the app is completely free of costs, or you decide to apply on your own and go through this journal alone, where we wish you good luck, of course, but we'd actually like to support you. We handle your application. We help you to find the right university to get admission and accompany you throughout the whole process. You can also use our service to prepare your study visa. And as I mentioned, you can also rely on our services in order to find accommodation and become part of our colorful, nice, and friendly and lively student network. Sorry, I lost the slide. So that was the first part. I'm going to have a little sip of coffee, and then I'm going to explain to you why it's a very good idea and what you can study in Italy. About beautiful Italy, Bella Italia, as we always say. The Germans love Italy, actually. It's their dream to go to Italy, always. Anyways, I'm going to hold my breath and just tell you the facts. So, Italy's largest and capital city is Roma, the eternal city of Rome. The official language is Italian, although as German, French, Ladin, a regional dialect, in some regions in northern Italy are also spoken. It lies in southern Europe, and over 60 million people live in Italy. The currency, just as in many other European countries, is the euro. So why it is a very good idea to study in Italy? It is a great international study spot for English speakers. Italy has a rich history of innovation and research. There are nearly 100 universities throughout Italy. A total of 30 universities were included in the QS World University Rankings. Affordable tuition fees with scholarship options for both the government and individual universities are possible. And as a country, it's ranked number 8 in the worldwide GDP ranking. Other than that, I can of course tell you that the first university ever in the world, Alma Mater Studiorum at Bologna, the University of Bologna, is also in Italy. So you can see how traditional and in the same time also modern, but also beautiful Italy definitely is. What we always recommend and advertise a little bit are the Italian pathway programs. They are designed to prepare international students to access a degree course in Italy. For candidates who wish to improve their educational or linguistic competences, it's exactly the right choice. The program itself enhances the language skills in Italian with its intensive modules and one of the easiest and simplest language to learn. Maybe not so easy and simple, but it's very, very beautiful and it's very useful Italian because with less than 5,000 euros, you can complete the foundation program and your gateway to free education for the rest of your studies. Because a lot of programs are on the undergraduate level are offered in Italian. So if you take the Pathway program, you will be able to benefit from these free of charge programs and study in Italian in one of these beautiful universities. If you need to study in English, there will be a lot bigger offer on master's level, and there will be fees to pay. So the free of charge option is if you study in Italian. So if you take the step to do the pathway program, to invest this 1 or 1.5 years, and then you can access all of these programs. The top ranking universities in Italy are, this is not in a special row, but just that you heard some names. If you maybe download the YUF search and start looking, it's the University of Pisa, Politecnico di Milano, University Sapienza di Roma, that's in Rome, University Cattolica, the Free University of Bolzano in the north of Italy, University of Bologna, I mentioned that one, the Politecnico di Torino, University of Siena, Perugia, and Salerno, and I would be quite envious if you started studying there, but anyways, Berlin is my place to live in a way to go to Italy for me. Okay, about tuition fees and study costs in Italy. Public universities. Average tuition fees for a higher education in Italy are between 850 and 4,000 euros per year, depending on the university and the program of study. Private universities in Italy are much more expensive, and the majority of them have the same tuition fees both for EU and non EU students. That can be 10,000 euros and more, and the best of them are the Università Commerciale Luigi Bocconi, Libera Università Maria Santa Assunta, and the Università Cattolica del Sacro Cuore. All of them, Bocconi is in Milan, Santa Assunta, Luis is in Roma, and the Università Cattolica is also in Roma. So you see it's mostly in the north, but also, of course, in the south you find interesting universities. Student accommodation and living costs in Italy. Most of the universities in Italy don't have their own accommodation, but the international office will provide assistance with finding state accommodation and also dorms that are provided by student service agencies. General living costs in cities like Milan and Rome are considerably higher than those in the rural areas. Student housing in Italy is more expensive in bigger cities and can range from 800 to 900 euros a month, depending on the size and location. Funding and scholarships. Scholarships and funding are often limited and are given to the students based on merit after an assessment of their previous grades. So you can tell already that it's a little bit difficult to get a scholarship as a bachelor student because you would have to have an academic record in order to apply. So most of the scholarships are actually beginning from the graduate level. There's the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation Scholarship, the Diritto allo Studio Universitario, DSU, from Lazio Disco, the Piedmont scholarships. These are regional scholarships. Piedmont is a region of Italy. The Bologna, University of Bologna study grants for international students. University of Pavia international scholarships for developing country students. Bocconi Merit and International Awards. Politecnico di Torino international scholarships. Università Cattolica international scholarships, and the University of Padua scholarship for all degree courses. So you can already see it depends a bit on which university you choose, and then you can find the fitting scholarship scheme for that. Popular study options in Italy. I mean, you can study, of course, anything, but architecture and construction and management are very popular from among our students, among the students that go to Italy via us, and also international students in general. Arts and design, business and management, commerce, accountancy, engineering and technology, fashion designing, hospitality and tourism studies, IT and computer sciences, and also hard sciences. Finding a job after you study or even during your studies. I think during the studies it's maybe not so easy in Italy, but after the studies, of course, there's a high demand for international graduates. And most of the universities provide career service centers or opportunities to find a placement or a job. As Italy is a hub of multinational companies and industries, there are many, many opportunities, but of course, it's much recommended to know a little bit of Italian or even have a good and decent level of Italian, because this is what would help you to get you into these international companies. And we named a lot, a lot, a lot. Not all of them are Italian, but all of them have premises in Italy, in Rome, in Milano, in Bologna, and so on. So the job market is quite good in Italy. And if not, then there are other job markets in Austria, Switzerland, Germany, not so far away. So it's also no problem as a graduate with Italian, with an Italian degree taught in English to find a job here in Germany, for example. Okay, next round. This was the feature about Italy, and we are now going to take a little closer look to the assisted mobile app and its wonderful magical features. Let me have another sip of coffee and then I'll be right back with you. So, the assisted mobile app is what we hope to be the world's number one mobile app for international higher education in Europe. We connect, as you see, we find another magical triangle again. We connect students, experts, and universities. Students looking to study overseas for their higher education can use the app for searching and applying to top universities, getting virtual counseling, participate in discussion forums, get information and support for visa processing, projects, and accommodation, and the like. And educational experts can get access to an active student community and guide them for their higher education needs. They can even conduct online counseling and events to promote their services or participate in forum discussions and more. Educators can register their universities here and promote their study programs to a diversified student community. They can post news and events on upcoming programs or new accreditations received to attract more students in the institute via the assisted mobile app. The process flow is a very easy one. So you download the app, which is available for both iOS and Android formats, and it can be downloaded from the App Store or the Google Play Store. Then you create your profile, an attractive profile with all your information that will supplement your search and enable us to find the best matching study option for you. You can search programs through the wide range of university options and use multiple filters to find your best choice. And you can join other virtual events, read open articles in the news, search for housing options, or book an appointment for counseling. You can also share the app with your peers, help your peers experience a new age of international education with the help of our app. What we believe is quite user comfortable and quite maybe not so innovative, but very, very practical is our search engine, where you can search for universities and get details on their study programs, intake periods, scholarship options, and more. And you can filter your search based on country, study programs, tuition fees, and more. And if you're confused between two or more schools, simply use the compare feature to evaluate them on different parameters to choose the best. University details will contain everything from the date of inception on the university to the program list, campuses, ranking in a very structured and comparable layout. This is really the most important feature because if you want to compare, for example, Italian, German, Austrian options, you won't find on the web any website, any platform, any forum that allows you to directly compare these features and these components of the study programs in three or more countries in the same time. As I said, you can explore events, you can look for housing. Then, a very important feature, we assist you. And with Assisted, you get to explore the Europe's #1 internship portal Praxis with an exposure to international work environment, opportunity to build a global career profile, and much more. So once you arrive in Europe and study there, we'll connect you to the internship portal Praxis in order to provide you a really good practical training, hands on the job experience. Of course, if you're interested, that's one of our many options, just as the chats and fora and the possibility always to opt for an agent, an educational agent near you, if you feel more comfortable to talk about your educational needs with someone in person. In general, we believe that with a drastic increase in online services, it's now essential to have virtual options for communication and higher education. And with the assisted expert feature, you get the opportunity to connect with an international education expert with years of experience and knowledge in the European higher education sector, who can guide you in each and every aspect of your European university admission process. Concerning scholarships, I already told you a little bit about it, I believe, within the framework of studying in Italy. There are many scholarships relying on the universities where you go to. In general, scholarships in the form of full or partial tuition fee waivers are the most common international scholarships offered by universities and are usually in the academic category. Tuition fee scholarships are the next best thing to fully funded scholarships in a sense that a good portion of your study costs is already covered. With the Assisted Mobile app, you can browse through the wide range of scholarship options available for different countries and locate the option that best suits your profile. Additionally, you can choose to talk to our assisted experts who are fully equipped to guide you through the procedures. Now, our accommodation service. With the Assisted Mobile app, we eliminate the need for you to browse for hours and instead we bring unlimited housing options at your fingertips. Get details of the apartments with price, dimensions, contact information, pictures, and again, we connect accommodation providers, the experts, and you as accommodation seeking students. Another little triangle that we work with. Accommodation providers post, experts consult you whether this apartment, for example, is in the right city, whether it's near the campus where you're going to stay, whether the price is a reasonable one given the comparison of the country, and so on and so forth. This is one thing. Next thing is visa support, whether for higher education or internships. The Assisted Mobile app offers services to support all your visa related requirements from A to Z. Get all the information from visa procedures to documents, interviews, and more, and talk to our experts virtually and get step by step assistance. For questions like which type of visa, where to apply, how to crack the visa interview, which are the documents needed, what is the insurance needed, and which consulate general is actually the right one to talk to. So we have a lot of experience, and we have sent a lot of students to Europe on student visa. So this is really something where we can help you with. The condition is always that you do have a letter of invitation or an admission to a university or like a work contract for a traineeship, for example. Without any basis, we can, of course, not do magic and just get an appointment for a visa for you. You have to have a basis for that, of course. I'll close the circle now. Your Unifinder offers an artificial intelligence powered system that ensures that you do not wonder about the possibilities of admission, but get a definite picture as to which specific universities you are eligible and how you can proceed with the admission process. Predict, support, succeed. We predict and analyze the data of 500 plus higher education institutions to predict to which universities you are likely to be admitted with your personal qualification record. YUF supports you through the application process and makes sure that your application reaches the university of your choice in time, in the right quality, and with the best chances to be successful. So succeed and with YUF enroll in one of Europe's excellent academic environments and benefit from high quality higher education, living conditions, and very, very positive prospects for your future career and life. I hope that sounds great to you. Is where you can find us if for any reasons you couldn't download the app immediately because of internet connections or technical problems or whatsoever. The app is free, so you can download and without any commitment, type in your profile, get information, seek for information, and please also share the great news. We would like to welcome as many students here in Europe as possible. And for today, I'd like to thank you for listening. I'd like to invite you to download the Assisted Mobile app now. And we have time for questions because I took almost only a little bit more than half an hour. So I'll give you some time to collect your questions. And yeah, I'll be here. The FAQ, the Q&A mode has been activated. Please think about it, and I hope to be able to answer most of your questions. Some of them, if they are too individual, I might have to refer you to my colleagues in the backend service. Thank you very much for listening and glad to hear your questions. No questions? Ah, okay. Which are best universities in Italy to study management courses? Bocconi. Definitely Bocconi, Luigi Bocconi in Milan, in Milano. Now, of course, other good universities, but I'd always recommend that one. Yes, Mohammed, you have only one question. Can you apply for a spring semester in Italy? Normally, as the academic year really starts in September in Italy, it is only possible to apply, I think, if you would like to start in a higher semester. Yeah, so you would have to check, but normally, especially in the master programs, they wouldn't admit. But for example, if you study already in Europe and you want to transfer, or you study already in your home country and you want to transfer, it might be possible. You're graduate already and with work experience. This kinds of scholarship from Philippines. Yeah, of course, Michael. So if you graduated a while ago and have work experience, then that's normal that people seek for master and graduate education, more qualifications, of course. Um, I'd say um, it depends a bit on how long your studies are ago and how well you justify that you now need a further qualification. But normally, this doesn't exclude you from any scholarship programs. On the contrary, sometimes master programs demand even a little working experience and so on. Yeah. Oh, the best university to study civil engineering in Italy? Hmm. In Italy, I'd say the Politecnico di Torino would be a good place. But actually, civil engineering, architecture, all of these things at most of the technical universities that offer engineering um, in Italy, it would be really fine. But I guess Politecnico di Torino is especially famous for that. If you ask me where you should go in Germany, then I would tell you the Technical University of Dresden, possibly. This is also an excellent address to study civil engineering. And don't worry if don't be irritated by the fact that some universities call themselves Politecnico. This just means that they are especially specialized on technical fields. So it's the same level as the university. They are like a university of applied sciences, and they can also do master's study. It might not be possible to get a PhD from them. Okay, Michael, you're working as an accountant for almost 15 years. Then I would really recommend you to look for a master program that focuses on a certain aspect of management, of process flows, maybe human resources. Would that be something? Um, because I mean, you are in administration, you work with numbers, you work in management, um, so you should find like a profile area. Of course, it could also be in the field of accounting. That special fields of international accounting maybe, and so on. Yeah, so I'd recommend you, if you're such a senior, to really get a good specialization, and our experts can also help you to identify good master program specializations. I wouldn't really recommend a wide and very broad master program to you, um, because this wouldn't possibly advance you a lot in your career. So yeah, I guess something very specialized in the national accounting, or as I said, maybe really human resources if you're interested in that, is a field where the need of workforce in Europe is immensely huge if you're talking about management fields. If a student was studying in Ukraine, can he study in Italy? Um, well, basically, yes. It's This is a very general question, and it needs a very, very specified answer. Um, so, what universities all over Europe, not only in Italy, do is they check the academic records of the international students that were studying in Ukraine before the war broke out, or even now during the war, and they try to acknowledge their study results. So they do something like an analysis of what has been studied before until now, and they place students in the curriculum where they would fit. So, for example, let's say you're an undergraduate student of accounting, and you did 2 years in Ukraine in English on accounting, you'd be placed possibly in the third semester or something like that. But it's a big deal because of language requirements and language requirements and language requirements. So the Ukraine question, if you studied in English on a master's level in Ukraine, it is less problematic if you would like to transfer to a master's program that is taught in English. But I know that many of the students who come from international students who came from Ukraine, for example, studied medicine, and there the transfer is extremely difficult. So for all fields except for medicine, I'd say it's rather possible. Maybe you lose some time and it depends on your language skills. So for medicine, it's really, really difficult. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I think we'll have two or three more questions, right? Yeah, of course, Michael, please. I already have the next question from Michael, whether it's okay to download the app and create your profile. Please do so, yeah. Hopefully, it's helpful. This is what we're here for. So, I think that's it for today then. That was a nice session. Yeah, that's what I feared, Hamid. For medicine, it's really a different case, because medicine studies are so overbooked in other European countries as well. And I haven't honestly heard from any um, aid program for international students that studied medicine in Ukraine and need to transfer. Um, you might check You might check universities in the Baltic states, in Lithuania, for example, and in Latvia. because they do offer English studies of medicine in English as well. So that's Latvia, um, Lithuania, and also there's in Hungary. There's a medical university in Hungary in Budapest that also offers medicine in English. And I'm sure I wasn't involved, but I'm sure that these three countries they have medical universities that are open to take international students that would like to transfer from medicine from Ukraine. Good luck. You're welcome. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you very, very much for your attention. Be in touch with our colleagues from the backend service. They will be able to help you and guide you through everything. For me, it's time to say goodbye for today. Thank you very much. And tech team, if you can be so kind and play the last and final video, that would be nice. Thank you. Goodbye.